Hi there, it's Kathleen here again, and today I have another Pinkfresh Studio layout for you. And I'm using the Everyday Musings collection as well as two of the beautiful background dies. And I'm using the Fancy Floral 1 and 2 die. This one is the more intricate one, I think that's number 2. And I'm using it to cut a part or a piece out of one of the papers, the dark green one you can see here. And then I will use the Fancy Floral 1, so the more solid die, so to say, from this light pink paper. So they are made to layer up, so you can layer one on top of the other to have this kind of dimension. And my first idea was to actually layer them on my layout and use them together with my photo. So I picked a photo that would coordinate well with the papers that I used, or actually the other way around. And I have to warn you a bit because this video or this layout took so many turns and I debated, you can see here, so I changed direction completely. I put the die cuts to the side and I thought, hey, I really like the frames from the Everyday Musings collection, I want to do something with those. So I picked out, or first of all I sorted through those frames to only have the ones that would coordinate with my photo. So I just selected the greens, pinks, yellow and this kind of purplish color and then arranged them in a vertical line. So this was my next idea, so to say. And I thought that maybe I could now embellish the frames, have some die cuts, for example, placed in some of them and then use one frame to maybe put in my journaling. But yeah, as I said, this layout took so many twists and turns and I wasn't sure if I should keep them in the video or if I should edit them out. So in the end I decided to keep them, but kind of, comprise everything a little bit and just show you the most important stages, so to say, of those different ideas. So now what I'm doing is, I thought that I would like to have a frame around the white cardstock as well, kind of to echo the frames that I have or that I plan to have on the layout. And for this I wanted to use two different kinds of papers, this mint or light green one and the pink one. So I cut off two strips of about 1 inch width, and then I will also cut off the edges of the green strip to have a diagonal line, and I just eyeballed it. So you could use a ruler or something to have a perfect angle, but I usually just eyeball things and it doesn't have to be perfect, I think. So I will now attach the green strip to the pink one and then also attach the white cardstock to this frame. And yeah, you will see in a second that this is also not the way this layout ends up, so I will change my mind again. I'm using double-sided adhesive to stick down the white cardstock to the frame, and I'm not placing it the whole way around so that some of the edge is without adhesive, so I can curl it up a little bit and rip the paper and tear the paper a little bit to have some texture and dimension. So this is why I usually just place just a little bit of tape on the back. So here I am placing everything like I had it before, and now I'm thinking it needs a little bit of color behind the frames. So I pulled out my watercolors and my ink sprays and all colors that I have. And my idea was to repeat the colors that I already have on the layout, so the pink, green and yellow, and have also some kind of vertical line of mixed media behind the frames and the photo. And here I am using an ink spray with some packaging, and then so I just sprayed it onto the packaging, added some water and then smushed it onto my paper or the white cardstock. And I already covered the white cardstock with clear gesso off camera. So this is why the color doesn't seep into the cardstock right away and you can move it around. So yeah, you can use clear gesso or white gesso for that. I usually use clear because For me, the white just always leaves a little bit of a yellow tint, and I just don't like that, so that's why I'm using clear gesso. And yeah, you can see here I added the green, the pink and the yellow. And now I go back and place everything like I had it before, and then realize that I still don't really like it. Yeah, I don't know, I just had one of those days where nothing went right. It looked much better in my head, and the idea was a bit different, but I couldn't seem to get it working. So I changed my mind again, and yeah, here you can see I pulled out another piece of cardstock without any color on it. This is 8.5 by 11 inches, so the idea was to maybe put it on a 12 by 12 pattern paper to have it, you know, the full 12 by 12 size. So I used this paper here because it fit the color scheme really well, I think. And then I thought, no, I don't like how that is looking either, but I do like the paper together with the embellishments. So I'm now using this paper to tear off a white strip of it, and then I will place it along the top of this 12 by 12 white cardstock. This is without any gesso or color, because I decided that I will skip the color in the mixed media, because I don't know, I'm not that much of a pro at mixed media, and it just felt like on this day it didn't work out for me. But I was determined to use at least one of those die cut pieces that I showed you in the beginning of this layout, and I thought that this green one looked really nice on this page, so I will just use it as a layer behind my photo and the cluster that I will build around it. So this is the photo that I will end up using. Another thing that I changed over and over again in the course of this layout. I hope this video doesn't drive you too crazy with all the twists and turns. I debated whether I should leave them in or not. Finally decided that, you know, maybe it's nice to show you that everyone struggles every once in a while, so it's not always like I have an idea right away and then the layout just happens. So maybe just as some kind of encouragement, but definitely let me know in the comments what you think, if I should keep things like this in or if I should edit them out. I would like to know what you prefer to see, or what kind of video you prefer. And if you have any ideas or other suggestions for future videos, then also please let me know, because I would be happy to include some of your ideas. So yeah, you can see what I did. I basically just built a small cluster around my photo with some of the embellishments that I had already pulled out before for the first version of this layout. And now, because I was kind of tired of changing my mind all the time, I finally decided to stick this piece down, and then also this smaller paper strip that I tore off one of the other papers, just to, you know, move on and kind of force myself to move on and to do something. So now that I finally started to make decisions and to put things down and adhere them, things started to move a little bit better, and yeah, basically I just built a cluster around my photo. I used different heights for the embellishments so that I would have some dimension on my layout. So I tucked some of the embellishments or the die cuts behind my photo, some of them on top of the photo or on top of the die cut. And yeah, just to, as I said, have some dimension. And I stuck to the color scheme that I had already selected before of pink, yellow and green, even though I changed the photo, but I still felt like it looked nice. So I just stuck with it, and besides, I really didn't want to go through all of the embellishments again to find some of a different color and, you know, start the whole thing all over again. So I'm using the die cut ephemera from Everyday Musings, the puffy stickers, the heart that I used next to one of a kind. They are dimensional stickers. I think they are probably my most favorite embellishment in the collection. And I actually kind of custom made this one because I used a yellow heart that had a different flag or label on top of it, and then used the label from another heart and then just, you know, switched them out because I needed something in the colors that I was using on the layout. So yeah, you can see that I put some more embellishments around the cluster, and now if everything else fails or if I don't know what else to do, usually there's some kind of paint splatters, so I'm using my gold ink spray, and here I'm looking through my swatch book of ink sprays to find the right yellow to use on this layout, because I have lots of different ink sprays, and yeah, it's a really nice and easy way to find the right color or the right shade of a certain color. So now the layout is almost completely done. The only thing that I'm going to add is a small cluster on the bottom part of my layout because it felt a bit empty. And I'm using half of one of the chipboard frames in light green, and I will use this as a kind of window for my journaling, which I will add off camera, as well as some stitching or machine stitching with my sewing machine with gold thread along the upper part of the layout, which you will see in a second in the detailed photos. So I hope you enjoyed watching this process video, even though it took lots of twists and turns and wasn't very straightforward. Yes, so thank you very much for sticking with me, and if you have any questions or comments, please let me know, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a great day. Bye!